Hello students, you are welcome to this class, NSC 207, where we are studying medical microbiology and pathology. In this first study session, we are going to discuss on the historical perspective of microbiology. In this study session, we are going to have a look at what microbiology stands for. And it involves the study of those organisms that are too small to be seen with naked eye. These organisms include bacteria, fungi, viruses, protozoa, and algae. As a group of these organisms are referred to as microbes. When you have studied this session, to be able to explain philosophy of the modern science, to highlight the roles of the founding fathers of microbiology, as well to describe the trends, prevention and control of microbial infection. This is the classes of microorganisms. Like you see, we have the alga, protozoa, amoeba, paramecium, phaerodira. They are organisms that we are going to have a little bit discussion on. Here, I want to see how you can develop scientific principle. It involves several steps. Initially, a phenomenon must be observed. From this observation, you will utter some basic things about that phenomenon, and you describe your hypothesis based on what you have observed. This is put into testable and falsifiable set of factors, whereby a theory is now formulated, and that theory, when it's now tested, is found to be relevant to the phenomenon you have discussed, then a principle is therefore given out of that theory. Now, we look at the founding father of microbiology. Robert Hooke and Anthony van Leeuwenhoek were the first to be seen as the founding father because they used crude microscope to see that this organism that could not be seen with naked eyes could be seen with the aided eye and the use of microscope. Louis Pasteur came up later to highlight the fact that in milk, human being drink, there are a lot of microorganisms there, and that milk must be sterilized before they can be fit for human consumption. So that method was referred to as pasteurization of milk, whereby it is boiled at temperature of 62.8 degrees centigrade for 30 minutes before that milk is made safe for human consumption. Ignaz Maurice also came up later, and when he came up, he found out that there are some infections that are related to side baths, and when he now brought the idea of thorough hand washing, this was actually reduced to the barest minimum. So the issue of hand washing was brought up as a means of controlling infection by Ignaz Semmelweis. But Jeff Lister also came up with another method of sterilizing surgical instruments because of the fact that he realized that some organism was colonized on the wound after surgical operation. So by the time he now put up this sterilization, the rate at which this mortality occurred post-operatively dropped substantially. Robert Koch was known for his role in identifying the organism that caused tuberculosis, and by the time this Robert Koch brought up the organism, he found out that these organisms were those that cause infection in man. So which led to the area of developing some microorganisms to this issue of microbiology. Also, the trend that we have prevention and control of microbial infection started from ferulation. a technique by which a thread was passed into the skin of a man infected with smallpox. This thread is now passed on to a man that is not infected, and that man developed smallpox. After which the man developed another kind of resistance to that smallpox. That was the beginning of fascination in microbiology. Later, fascination was developed by Edward Jenner in 1700, and by that time, cowpox was what the man used to develop his fascination. When that one was done, it created room for prevention of certain microbial infection through fascination. And as time goes on, the development of antibiotics, especially penicillin, which was used to take care of many infections. But during the Second World War, it was realized that many organisms were still resistant to this penicillin, and there are development of resistance to antimicrobial agents, which has called in more research on how this microorganism could be combated. With this resistance, it has created a lot of problems on the part of clinicians and patients also, because when they are treated, they will not have any effect from this treatment due to microbial resistance. And as time goes on, people started bringing in some kind of antimicrobial agents that could combat the resistance of this microorganism. As we go on in the course, we will see how these resistance are built up in the body, and how these other agents, antimicrobial agents, are being formulated to take care of this resistance. Until then, we see you in the next class. Thank you very much.